Hello everyone and welcome back to Alpha Protocol, and first and foremost, I am currently sick. I've got the flu, so that may affect how I sound and may affect commentary. With that out of the way, time to go to Moscow.
Welcome to Moscow, Mike. How do you like your new apartment?
Limited access, secure building, high-speed internet. This'll work just fine.
Anything else?
Like...
Like the view?
Oh yeah, could be a sniper risk. I might have to put up heavy curtains.
Always the professional, Mike. All right, down to business then. Do you have a plan of attack for Moscow?
I've got a few leads from Saudi to follow up on. We'll see where those take me.
Sounds like a solid plan. What will you follow up on first?
Not sure yet. The missile launchers were moved through Leningradsky Station. There might be intel there. I've also got a CIA informant codenamed Grigory and a mob underboss called Lazo.
Finding those missiles is important, although more information would be helpful. But from his file, Grigory looks like the type who would sell information about you to interested parties. Lazo might be able to provide some leads too.
Getting the lay of the land would be helpful. I'd rather not walk into an ambush if I can help it.
Smart plan. Call me when you have anything.
I probably didn't need to take his glass eye as a trophy, but ears are so passé.
Wait, what? It's a class I.
I probably didn't need to take his glass eye as a trophy, but ears are so passé.
Yeah, but whose is it? What the fuck? Whose glass eye is it? What the fuck is that? Anyway, weird. So anyway, because I've been feeling under the weather, I've been watching a lot of YouTube, trapped in bed, and I've been watching a lot of the longer Markiplier stuff actually, and I do like stuff like his playthrough of Presentable Liberty, for example, and of course his playthrough of the original Outlast, although he is sometimes a little bit weird on the whole not sucking at games aspect. But then again, aren't we all? Are we not all just garbage sometimes?
Michael Thornton, welcome to Moscow. You are quite the traveler. Rome, now fresh from Taipei, yes? Terrible thing, the attempt on Sun's life. Very bad assassin. Or very smart president.
There were losses and gains for a few people, which is why I'm here.
I feel honored. Your first time in Moscow, and I am your first stop. What brings Michael Thornton, world traveler, to this humble bar?
I wanted to ask you some questions about Halbeck and the weapons they've been smuggling through Moscow.
You are here conducting an investigation. Very interesting.
This is one of
yes.
the discussions that are
Halbeck's
greatly
involved in serious arms trafficking violations, and I want to stop them.
greatly affected by your past
in
actions.
Such things is dangerous in Moscow. But you must know this.
I'll take my chances.
Of course, you're on a mission, and this is a matter of national, international security. I can help you, but such information will not come cheaply.
Very well. I'll have the money sent to you. Now can you help me or not?
It would be my pleasure. Now, what is it you want to know?
I want to know who Halbeck's working with.
That is a difficult question, but I know someone who would know the answer. There is a man, Sergei Surkov. He runs several businesses in Moscow. He may know who Halbeck is dealing with.
Sergei Surkov. Running a check on the name now. We're getting a lot of hits. He shouldn't be hard to find. Although judging from his contact list, figuring out where his next appointment is could take some time.
All right, I think I can wait a little longer. and there's a few other leads I'd like to track down.
You were planning to investigate Leningradsky Station, yes? Maybe you can do me a favor.
A favor?
Your American missiles are not the only cargo that comes through the station. If you go, maybe you could divert these shipments, accidentally, of course.
What, you mean change the shipping labels? And me without my label maker.
It is more simple than that. The box destination is stenciled on the side, but it is a code. Change it with a marker, and the boxes will end up somewhere else. To a friend of ours who will be happy to reimburse us, maybe do a little business with you.
I'll think about it.
What more can an old man ask for?
Okay then. Brilliant. So, going forward. Might as well do this first, and let's remember to put on arm guards. Not ablative. Go printed circuitry. Yeah, that looks good. Then weapons, all sorted, brilliant. Clearinghouse for tiny pistols with high stopping powers. The mandatory AK rifle.
I'm here. Now to find Lazo.
Okay. Yes, somehow taking down someone with a knife is absolutely silent. There we go.
Lazo, you're so crazy.
Oh, you so crazy. You no pay attention. Okay.
One is Breako throwing another party.
More importantly, who is this Breako? Must he break me?
The night is so beautiful.
Camera angle fuckery. Okay, 0, 1 there, 5C down here. Gain money, which is good, but more importantly...
Ha! Breako's history. I'm the big man in Moscow. You wait.
Just you wait. Oh no, wait.
What was that? They're going to find you. What the fuck?
Oh, okay. And then, using my impressive knowledge of cheating... Oh, I was already on the steel course. That's right, because I had them on from the boss fight with Omen Deng. Speaking of boss fights, it's our old friends at the G22.
Lazo has been terminated. Move out.
What the hell's going on here?
Softly. Investigating.
What, nothing to say? I want to know what you're doing here. Who sent you? You're just a kid, so I'm willing to let this go. But you keep pushing it.
Mike, are you still there?
I'm here.
Someone was jamming the frequency. Are you all right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. 17,000, and effect Sis and G22 still alive, potential enemies. Effect repercussions from G22. Luckily, we've got an in with Albatross already.
What's up with the connection? Looks like something's interfering with the transmission. Or... Albatross. It's been a while since Taipei. I ran into a little friend of yours tonight, hanging out with your G22 buddies. She's quite the little firecracker, although she doesn't talk much. Well, except with those pistols of hers.
That would be my bodyguard, Sis. And I know you spared her life. That's why I'm calling.
I didn't want to fight her. I was only there for Lazo. But she didn't give me much choice.
It was under my orders, Mike, but I didn't realize you would be there. Else, I would have instructed Sis to behave differently.
So should I ask what G22 is doing in Moscow? You guys sure seem to get around.
It's a rather long answer, Mike. One I'd like to discuss more, if you'd be up for it.
Is your bodyguard invited? If so, I'll need body armor.
I'm afraid it's required she be present. We're not supposed to be apart. It's how G22 operates in the field. But like you, I tend to bend the rules for the sake of the greater good. I'll leave the choice up to you, but I can't wait long. If you want to discuss your future, then meet me at the following coordinates. It isn't far. And come alone.
Alright. But I better not be walking into an ambush. And tell Sis to keep her distance.
I will do so. I will not wait long, Mike. So if you want to speak to me, you'll have to do it soon.
Right. Let's get a little bit more intel. More intel. More intel. Anything new here? Rittergruppen Rampage. You can clearly tell from the names where the guns actually originate, or what the originating gun is. For example, you've got the Rittergruppen, which is clearly a German name, and you've got the, or what it is the Heckler & Koch MP series. It's probably a tactical MP5 or something like that. We've got the UCs, which is, I don't know, some kind of weird AKSU, probably. Then you've got the Samael, which is, of course, Israeli. And then you've got the Hamilton, which actually, where was the MP7 made? Well, it's an MP7, so I assume, in fact, that it is an American, not an American, German. But anyway. Yes, indeed, it's a Heckler & Koch MP7.
Beautiful night. Let's not ruin it by shooting each other.
It's all right, Sis. Hello, Mike. No trouble finding the place, I hope.
You wanted to meet face to face. Why?
I wanted to talk about you and the organization I represent. You spared Sis's life. For that, you have my thanks.
Sorry it came to that. I didn't want to fight her, but the situation didn't leave much time for talking. Although she's not much of a talker, I take it.
She's a mute. Let's walk. Sis will make sure we're not interrupted.
Alright. So, what did you want to talk about?
I know to all outward appearances you're a rogue agent. I also know about Alpha Protocol, and in your case, it's being used for its intended purpose.
Wasn't my choice, really. One of my associates made the decision for me.
I disagree. You had other options, I'm sure. Did enacting Alpha Protocol change your mission?
No.
Then you should be proud of your accomplishment.
What accomplishment?
It's not often that one gets to turn the tools of their own government against them, and for the right reasons. And Alpha Protocol? It is a powerful tool.
Between Halbeck and you, I'm beginning to feel like everyone knows about Alpha Protocol.
It may seem that way. I'd argue you're simply traveling in a smaller circle here, on the fringe of international politics.
I don't know what you want, Albatross. G22's agenda? Doesn't seem like you have one.
No. We have aspirations, as does any government. But we believe that agendas are accomplished by careful study and observation. If the status quo is disrupted, it makes predicting triggers and events more difficult.
You sound like one of the analysts of Alpha Protocol I know.
Alpha Protocol has always had someone in that role. It helps them function as intended, no matter what iteration of the program. It's an odd thing, A government-sponsored program whose purpose is to prevent being policed by its own government. Now, what kind of foundation is that for a country?
I guess you have to trust your country and act in its best interests.
Do you trust your country?
I do. I believe in the mission.
I propose we become allies.
What, I'd become a member of G22?
No. I propose we cooperate. You will find that as extensive as Alpha Protocol's leftover safe houses and gadgets are, well, G22 has access to much more.
And the price?
Let us say I owe you. You've already paid me, in the only currency I value. What do you say?
All right. I need all the friends I can get. And for some reason, I trust you.
You won't regret it, Mike. We're out of time, I'm afraid. Thank you for listening to me, Mike. I know you have a great deal of work ahead of you.
Albatross, I need to know something.
Yes. What?
This business with Halbeck. I can still prevent it, right? There's a way to stop them. This isn't going to end well, is it?
Mike, it never does.
Ominous. Ooh, new guns. Brilliant. So yeah, the story is actually does get quite heavily involved with actual how you know how the world isn't just contained into regions. It's more about with these things. It's something happening somewhere will have an effect on the whole world. And of course, one of the primary reasons why it goes into that is because at the same time it is about manipulating world events, and at the same time it's about trying to kind of see what the concrete results of manipulating the world events are. There we go. I've got email. Probably should have checked the email at some point as well, instead of just blasting through, but I can do it before I go contact Surkov next time, so that'll be okay.
Stay down! You two, get ready to push up! You two, get ready to move out that wall! Ready? Ready? Damn it! Open fire! Shoot! Shoot!
Must be a small army out there.
Come out, or I'll shoot through those boxes you're crouching behind.
Wouldn't want that.
You must be that American agent I've heard so much about.
The little bird told you that?
Grigori is no bird, darling. You should be careful who you speak to. You are the one who caused so much trouble for poor Conrad in Rome, yeah?
He tried to kill me first.
I think we will be fast friends, darling. Conrad and I, well, we have our professional differences.
So no love lost between you two, then?
In this business, there is no love to begin with. Here to catch a train?
I'm here looking for the Halbeck missiles that were smuggled through Moscow.
Oh, very truthful of you. Bad practice in our business. But we should talk. I do not want to shoot you, as I only have so many bullets.
Could have fooled me.
Them? They didn't take many bullets. You, I'm not so sure it would be as easy. I propose a deal. I am here for the same reason you are, to find this Halbeck train. We work together, we both get what we want.
If your objective is to reach the train, then we can help each other out. After that, I can't make any promises.
Nor can I. Until the train is reached, then, yeah?
Well, considering you have the drop on me, then it sounds like a deal. For now.
That is good. Because I think we have company.
Right, first things first. Less expensive bullets.
Who are the guys in the tracksuits?
No idea. They may be guarding the shipment.
Looks like I've walked into the night before.
Hope you're not planning on getting involved.
May not have much choice.
Just remember why you're here, Mike.
And the guys in the tracksuits are, of course, well, since we're in Russia, they are the Russian mafia. And the reason for the tracksuits, apparently, well, I've read that the reason for the tracksuits is that during the Cold War and during the Soviet keeping the borders quite closed, stuff like Nike tracksuits were contraband, or at least very hard to come by. So the
Watch
people
out, Mike.
who
I'm picking up movement on that water tower.
Great.
who had
Snipers
them,
on the tower.
and because this is the important thing, even though Nike did make the tracksuits for the Russian Olympic team, they were customized specifically to only have one stripe, and for that stripe to be red and so they weren't recognizable as suits made by Western capitalism. However, with that in mind, the people who then were recruited by mobsters as muscle usually were ex-boxers, ex-sport people, and they had access to Western goods because, of course, they'd been outside the Soviet Union. They travelled. They had access to all kinds of stuff, and there it was a sign of prestige. It was a sign of being connected. So, like, that's where the idea of the three-stripe Adidas comes from. I've been saying Nike, haven't I? It's Adidas. I don't know why I said Nike. I think it's because I'm not doing quite well. Anyway, so with the Adidas tracksuits,
Upload the data. I'll pass it along to
as
the
with
authorities.
anything else, knockoffs started to be made, and with this it became even more kind of pronounced, because every 2-bit gangster who wanted to seem larger than they were would of course go for a tracksuit, because that's what was worn by the people they idolized. So that, at least in very broad strokes, apparently is the origin of the tracksuit as something worn by the criminal underworld in Russia. Now, how truthful is that? I don't know, considering that it is just something that I've read somewhere, but it seems like a plausible explanation, because it does take into account the historical fact of the of the difficulty of coming by Western-made products, and of course with the tracksuits it also takes into account the idea that there's knockoffs and then there's the real Adidas three-stripe. I don't know why I was on about Nike. I think it's because I don't wear either. In brutal and not surprising honesty, I've got a pair of Reeboks, which I wear at the gym. reason I settled on Reeboks is because they were the only ones who had my size. Which is some kind of fucking clown shoe, apparently. I've got a size 13 feet, so... Apparently that is quite clownish. Also, it's kind of hard to come by in certain types of shoes. And for example, when it comes to getting sneakers and stuff like that, I usually just straight up spring for a pair of Converse, because it's the best way to guarantee that, one, they last me at least a year, and two, that I can actually find a size.
Tango squad moving out.
Ooh, trank rounds. Trank rounds are good. We need those. Another situation where there's an environmental hazard, and this one's a lot more frequent than the one in the Taipei metro station, but you know, it adds a fair bit of interest. And how about we don't float like a motherfucker when we're on a sniper rifle scope? It's like the floatiest thing in the world. I feel like I have to change my mouse sensitivity down to like 2 in order to have the movements be precise enough. Right. This is one of those moments where I'd really, really appreciate having a spotter. Oh. I'm just gonna make broad sweeps. Right, fuck it. Oh. Actually do still have a purpose for the sniper rifle, so... try and get that one. If I can I? Fucking barely. Okay. Right, I think there's only one guy left, so might as well just make a run for the container. That Russian guy shouting that I'm a cocksucker reminds me very much of Medal of Honor. Was Frontlines the one that started with the Normandy landing? Because it had
I feel like I just walked into a toy store. Looks like the shipment's ready to go to its client.
It had, I think it had a stealth section where... No, it had a, like, you assaulted a mansion and then there was a... There was a point where the Nazi troops would just... Well, I mean, just one of their standard voice lines was to call you an American swinehund. Which to me was quite funny at the time. However, Medal of Honor Frontlines is actually really good as a game. I remember playing through it quite a few times.
Found the shipping manifests, but no mention of the missiles.
Although, strangely
Weapons.
enough, that's not the one that I played the most of, because Rising Storm had an absolutely brilliant multiplayer.
Be right there. Just need to change the destination address. Actually, I'll ship them to Grigori. He'll appreciate the present.
Mike, we don't have time. Never mind.
You better appreciate this, Grigori. So much for getting out of here the easy way.
Yes, Rising Storm had both one of my favourite kind of stealthing sections in a first-person shooter, because it had the whole thing where you're in... You're in the... Oh, I can't remember what the town was, or the city that you're in is, but you're just sneaking around with the well-run silenced pistol, which is an interesting pistol design because it only has the one round.
That must be Dimitri.
Cool. Well, that's that mission done.
Michael, I did not realize you knew how to kill so well.
I don't like to brag.
And so polite. Maybe I should keep a more careful eye on you.
Can't say I mind that. In fact, maybe we could work together a little more closely.
Michael, like I have not heard that suggestion before.
Maybe a few decades ago.
We both seem to be after the same thing. The same goal, that is. A little extra firepower couldn't hurt.
So instead of being selfish, you suggest we share our talents? I do not know. Your type. Oh, I know it too well.
I'm not asking you to marry me. Just think about it. Here's my contact info. Call me sometime. Hey, I might even pick up.
You did not just say that.
Michael, perhaps it was good I was out of bullets when we first met. I think we will have a good working relationship, yeah? I will be in touch, Michael. I think we will have much to discuss, you and I.
Alright then. Can't say I'm looking forward to it, but...
I would wait until you hear my offer first, but it will not be long, I promise.
Made a cool 40,000. Brilliant. Yeah, let's dump more stuff into sabotage. Right. there we go, and with that, it is time out for this episode, so thank you for joining me, and remember to join me on Sunday for a Dark Souls 2 stream. Until then, goodbye.